Welcome all. Our today's lecture is on the topic emergency provisions, or we can say national emergency. And this is our lecture 6. Let's start today's lecture. Emergency provisions. What are the emergency provisions? What are the ideas behind it? From where we have taken these provisions? We have taken these provisions from the Constitution of Germany. And the part of emergency provisions are contained in Part 18. It is in Part 18 of our Indian Constitution. And the President of India has the power to impose emergency rule in any or all the Indian states if the security of part or all of India is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion. From this, it is clear that the emergency provisions will active when there is a situation of war or there is a situation of civil war, armed rebellion, external aggressions are there. Then the President of India will impose the emergency rules in all over the India or a small part of the India. It is contained in the Part 18. Now we have three types of emergencies in our Constitution. The first one is national emergency by the Article 352. Next one is emergency due to failure of constitutional machinery in states. This emergency will be imposed in a particular state by the Article 356. And the third one is financial emergency by the Article 360. Here I want to clear that in India, both the first two emergencies have applied, but the third one, final emergency, is not applied till now. There was a condition in 1991, there was a very financial crisis in India, but this final emergency will not impose at that time. Let's move ahead. Now we will learn about national emergency. As we have discussed earlier, under Article 352, if the President is satisfied that there exists a grave situation wherein the security of the country is threatened on the ground of wars, external aggressions or armed rebellion, it can be called civil war. In the situation of civil war, the President can also impose emergency. The emergency can be declared over the complete territory of India or any part of thereof. President can declare emergency only on the written advice of the cabinet, not by himself or herself, but by the advice of the cabinet. Cabinet means that the Lok Sabha. A special majority is required to approve an emergency resolution. Once approved, emergency shall operate for a maximum period of not more than 6 months. If any time the emergency will imposed in the country, then the period of emergency will be 6 months. We can, or the Lok Sabha or the President can extend this by 6 months by 2 times also. The next one, Lok Sabha has the power to disapprove the operation of national emergency at any time. It means that Lok Sabha have the power to dissolve this at any time. If the one tenth member of Lok Sabha in writing to the speaker in house is in session, or to the president, if the session speaker is not present, then to the president as well. And if the president is not available, then the speaker as well. In front of both, these disapproval can be put. And a special session of Lok Sabha within 14 days, and if such a resolution is passed, president shall revoke national emergency, but by the advice of Lok Sabha cabinet. In India, there was a situation of war in 1962 with China war, in 1971 with Pakistan war, and 1975 that internal disturbance declared by former PM Indira Gandhi. It means 3 times in India the national emergency will imposed at the time of China war, Pakistan war, and in 1975 declared by the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Next, the second type is emergency due to the failure of constitutional machinery in states. If it can be imposed at the time that in the election, if no any party get the maximum seats that is required to make a government in that particular state, then the president rule, or we can say it as like governor rule, president rule, emergency, this can be imposed. As per Article 355, it shall be the duty of the Union to protect every state against external aggression and internal disturbance, and to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. This says Article 355. But when we will apply the emergency in any state, that will come under the Article 356. If president is satisfied on this report of governor or otherwise that there exists a great emergency where the administration of the state cannot be continued in accordance with the provisions of constitution, by invoking Article 355, any person can dismiss state government and take over the state administration onto himself and declare that parliament will enact law on behalf of state legislature. And after applying this Article 356, all the rules, all the decisions for that particular state will be taken in the parliament, not in that particular state's Vidhan Sabha. The first time, this is the important question, in which state the Article 356 will imposed? Then the answer is the article was used for the first time in Punjab, right? 20th June 1951, after the Jammu Kashmir, and in many states also. This is also called president rules. The last one is financial emergency. This is come under the Article 360. If the president is satisfied that a situation has arisen whereby the financial stability or credit of India or of any part of the territory thereof is threatened, he may be a proclamation, make a declaration to that effect. this emergency is never imposed in India. As we discussed earlier, this emergency is never imposed in India. There was a situation in 1991, the financial crisis, but the emergency was not imposed. So this is all for this lecture. Prepare your good quality notes and read them carefully.